Hey, welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. This is Pleb Underground, the signal without the slop. I am your host, Phil. All right, let's take a look at the stories we are going to review today. Largest Spanish bank launches Bitcoin and ETH trading. Yeah, it's probably pretty good. We'll take a look at that story. Paper Bitcoin summer updates. That's right, guys. We've got some MSTR news, some sequins news. Marusho Hotta. That's right. Apparently, the Kimoto business not doing so well. Not doing so well. Anyways, African Bitcoin Corporation. Let's go. And for the Hopium, guys, we are going to dive into a whole bunch of stuff. We've got some JP Morgan comments. We're going to look at some then, some now. Bitcoin difficulty bullishness, right? Some cycle theories, and as if the nice bullishness that we're getting today isn't enough, even McDonald's is signaling new Bitcoin all-time highs. That's right, guys. And finally, I don't know if you guys, some people may not remember, but back in 2020, we some of us in the States got some stimulus checks and turned it all into a whole lot more fiat by turning it into Bitcoin. Looks like we may get another chance at that, right? Looks like we may get another chance. Anyways, that's right, guys. Got a whole lot of fun lined up for Friday. But before we dive into the fun, you guys know the deal. I'm going to show some love to the Pleb Underground sponsor, and we're going to be right back to dive into all of these stories. Let's frickin' go. Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium. You remember how excited some people were that the guy with the highest IQ, what's his name here, Jung Hoon Kim or Kim Hoon Yoon? Anyways, right? All these people are all excited. Hey, look, highest IQ guy. He loves Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin's gonna save the planet. All that good stuff. Yeah. You know, we're all excited. Yeah, we front ran this guy. We shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised by this. Shout out to Bitcoin is Cool for tagging me in this. I actually thought that he had, I thought that Kim had deleted this post, but apparently he had not. As the world's highest IQ record holder and grand master of memory, today I decide to found the second Bitcoin as the second Satoshi Nakamoto. Supporting Make America Great Again and to establish the Lord's churches worldwide in the name of Jesus. I gotta tell you, using God as a grift, I don't appreciate it. I know that a lot of people do it. I know that it makes a lot of money. Unfortunately, though, this is not the path you want to take. This is definitely not the path you want to take. I mean, you can't sit there and flex how you're the smartest guy in the world and fall for the oldest affinity scam trick in the world. Like, see, this is where we end up seeing the difference between intelligence and wisdom. As if that thread isn't cringe enough all on its own. I gotta show you guys this. I love my favorite. Some of my favorite stuff is the credential flexing, right? So he's got this follow-up post after he tells you that he's the smartest guy, after he tells you that he's the second Satoshi. Now it's time to credentialize and tell you why you're going to buy this shitcoin. With my team and the president of American Bitcoin, which was founded by Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. And then, if that wasn't enough, it's time to flash my creds. That's right. Guys, look at how smart I am. These certificates. Good stuff. Boom. Guy's a genius. Buy my shitcoin. That's what it is. He loves Bitcoin. He's a genius. Buy his shitcoin. If anybody wants to hire me for shitcoin marketing, yeah, we could talk on the side. I can help you with the shitcoin marketing. Can make it really easy. Every single thing you're going to do is very simple. It's whatever it is that you think you're doing amazing, buy my shitcoin. That's it. Right? I'm a great athlete. Buy my shitcoin. That's Scottie Pippen's thing, right? Or in his case, it's I saw Satoshi in a dream. Buy my shitcoin, right? Even this one's going to be controversial, but MSTR, right? I hold so much Bitcoin. Buy my shitcoins. It's great. It's great. But guess what? If you just listen to us and you hodled Bitcoin, right? You didn't buy any of those stupid paper. You didn't buy any of the stupid paper. You didn't fall for any of this stuff. Look at where you're sitting right now, right? Definitely not sitting on 98% losses holding fucking NACA. That's for sure. Anyways, okay, guys, let's move on. I'm done throwing the smartest guy with the highest IQ. I'm done throwing him under a bus. Let's move on. Okay, so largest Spanish bank. BBVA becomes first major Spanish bank to launch 24/7 Bitcoin trading. Yes, for liquidity, this is a win. Can't disagree with that. Anyways, the initiative is supported by Singapore-based SGX whose technology allows aggregation, pricing, distribution, and risk management for financial institutions. Yay, that's good stuff. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit weird. It's where it gets a little bit weird, guys. BBVA will manage customer holdings using, so remember, they're going to manage the customer holdings using its in-house cryptographic key storage platform rather than relying on external providers. Okay, so they are custodying your funds in-house. Bear with me. While the service will offer users a secure and user-friendly interface, BBVA emphasized that customers will retain full control over their investments. But wait, BBVA will also manage the customer holdings using it. Well, so which one is it? That doesn't actually make any sense. Anyways, as the bank will not provide advisory services, you sometimes kind of wonder, and again, maybe I just don't understand the full definition of advisory services in this context, but I don't think advisory services is custodianship. Just saying. Anyways, so the reality is that the bank's client want access within the same trusted system they always use. So what does that mean? I want to believe that I am not asking for permission. I want to believe that this trusted third party is letting me custody my assets, but also maintaining full control. Guys, yeah, when you actually pay attention to the mental gymnastics, it gets very tiring, but also entertaining, right? Double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Okay, moving on. Let's go take a look at the paper Bitcoin summer, guys. We've got a lot. I know some people are waiting for the hopium. It's all kind of hopium, isn't it? Isn't it all just kind of hopium? Anyways, okay. Let's move it on here. Guys, he's getting another shot. Sailor is getting another shot. Here's the carrot on the end of the stick, right? Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyffert says Sailor's Bitcoin Treasury Giant strategy is on track to become eligible for the S&P 500 inclusion this December. Guess what? He was already on track for being eligible for the Standard & Poor's inclusion last month. Is he going to get it this month? Personally, I'd like to say that he would, only because I want to see the extension of this bull market. I do actually believe, right? Because look, at the end of the day, even though it's not Bitcoin, the point is that these institutions, right? Institutions like Strategy buying a whole lot of Bitcoin, holding a whole lot of Bitcoin, creating all of these financial products. This is a perception game, right? Like this is also a perception game. And as a result, when a company like this gets added to the Standard & Poor's, right before Christmas, we might get that Santa Claus rally. I know I probably should have put this in the hopium, but whatever. I figured I'd put this under the, losing my train of thought here, under the Bitcoin summer. Okay, anyways, well, let me know what you guys think, right? Does he actually get in? I'd like to believe that he would, but like sometimes I think that Wall Street hates me, not just me, but hates the average retail investor, and they'll just be like, no, you're going to stay down there in the pits until we say so. Anyways, moving on from this, let's continue. Okay, so Sequins, right? Sequins, that company that Swan has essentially been providing consultation services for, and doing a bunch of PR for them, I guess. This is an interesting one. So Sequins Communications today announced that its board of directors has authorized a program to repurchase, which usually share repurchases are a pretty good thing, right? They're planning to repurchase up to 1.57 million American depository shares. Okay, and this is just because the company itself is actually in Paris, France, right? So they had to actually create shares to trade here in the US, and those are known as depository shares. Anyway, specifically American depository shares. Anyways, at the current ADS ratio, representing approximately 10% of the company's current outstanding shares through June 30th, 2026. Okay. I got to tell you, share repurchases are usually a sign that a business or management believes in their business. However, right, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at their monthly chart, right? These are monthly candles, right? Each one of these candles is a monthly candle. And as you can see, this thing goes down and to the right. And you can see here from these two little S's, right, that there were two splits. The first split was a 2 for 5, which I'm not showing the screenshot, but essentially for every 5 shares of sequence that you had, they gave you 2. And then, right, September 17th, look at that, not even 3 weeks ago, they did a 1 for 10, which means for every 10 shares you had, they now gave you 1. So if you ask me, this share repurchase that they're doing of the 1.57 million shares, that's just that is just more carrot on the end of the stick, trying to hook you in, make you think that they actually care about their business. Again, I am not saying that these businesses can't turn around and start actually producing real income and stacking Bitcoin. However, all I'm really seeing right now is a bunch of shenanigans, right? They're just playing a bunch of games. To each their own, but I am glad that I stayed away from this garbage because it's garbage. Anyways, moving on. Let's go take a look at this kimono thing, right? Isn't that a weird mix? Reported from Bitcoin Treasuries, Marusho Hotta, a 150-year-old traditional Japanese kimono manufacturer, rebrands as a Bitcoin Japan corporation. What? And announces plans to launch BTC Treasury strategy. Now, guys, I know it's super painful what I've been saying this whole time, right? Is that these are unfortunately dying businesses with dwindling revenues, and this is how they're attempting to stay relevant. Granted, some businesses will be able to survive and thrive. Unfortunately, the majority of the businesses that I see that are purchasing Bitcoin and using them as spectacles, they seem to be absolute trash, and they seem to be in financial trouble. Anyways, let's continue here. This is also kind of weird, right? This is a kimono manufacturer. Well, look at this. Backed June agreement to buy a controlling stake in the business helped trigger the shift. So people may not remember Backed, but 2 cycles ago, Backed was the big news, right? They were going to create this massive influx of liquidity for Bitcoin, big, massive institution facilitating liquidity and trading and all that good stuff. Guess what? When Backed was announced, that was the top. That's when we topped, and it just went straight down. Of course, that has nothing to do with this, but I'm just saying, them buying into this, if you ask me, this is just one of those things where maybe it's within their best interest to help out this tiny little company. Maybe they're friends with the owner of this company, and said, hey, we've got this great idea for you to raise funds. You just have to convert your business into a Bitcoin business and stop selling kimonos. Anyways, reports have disclosed that Philip Lord, president of Backed International, will take the CEO job. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. They could do so much work, right? Do so much work. CEOs of like multiple businesses will take the CEO job at the newly named firm. And Akshay Nahata, co-chief executive, will become chairman of the board. Sometimes it seems Ponzerific, doesn't it? Just a little bit Ponzerific. Okay. Anyways, let's continue here. Learn about the company a little bit. The company has struggled in recent years. Founded in 1861. That's pretty decent. Anyways, based on reports, Marusho Hotta logged a net income of minus 407 million yen. So the net income was minus $2.7 million US for its most recent fiscal period. So yeah, sorry guys, I do believe that this is just it's a circus, and this is a pony, and they are using this to get everybody's attention. That's pretty much where I'm at with that one. Okay, anyways, let's continue on here. We've got more paper summer Bitcoin. Let's do it. So, Hong Kong just bought their first Bitcoin. So this company right here, right? This Hong Kong public company, WebX. Guys, this is not WebX, right? If you're a technical person and you know about doing remote support, this is not that company. That company is owned by Cisco. This is just a company in Hong Kong that bought their first Bitcoin. But you know what? I appreciate that. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Hopefully you didn't buy that Bitcoin by selling a bunch of worthless shares. Hopefully you did it with money that you had sitting on the side that was doing absolutely nothing. Hopefully that's what happened. All right, we're going to move into this African Bitcoin Corporation stuff here. So Africa's first BTC treasury firm, Africa Bitcoin Corporation, is now officially listed on the Namibia Securities Exchange, the NSX. Hey, good stuff for them. So this is kind of an interesting company. These guys do private investments. I'm actually fairly bullish on this thing. So anyways, ABC, bullish not on that company or their shares, but I'm bullish on what they're doing. Right? Like that they're going to accumulate Bitcoin and use and deploy capital to small to medium-sized businesses. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, ABC is offering up to 1 million ordinary shares at $11 per share. Proceeds from this raise will be allocated to the disciplined accumulation of Bitcoin. I wonder what would happen if they weren't disciplined with it, if they said that they weren't. Would people still believe this? Anyways, for ABC's corporate treasury and to support the expansion of its financial services operations, Class C shares capital raise. Okay, so keep in mind, they're going to have these 1 million ordinary shares, right, that will be specific for buying Bitcoin. Now, they're going to have up to 5 million, right? So up to 5 times that of Class C shares, targeting proceeds of up to $20 million in line with the terms of the Class C shares. These funds will be invested directly into Alt Invest Credit Opportunities Fund, a private credit fund under the ABC Group. So, you know what? In all fairness, I do like this a lot more than businesses that just raise a whole bunch of money to buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin and do nothing else. Right? I do think this is a lot better. So that private organization, ACOF, it provides structured secured loans to high potential small to medium sized enterprises. So yeah, small to medium sized businesses in South Africa. Yep. Paper Bitcoin summer. I kind of like what these guys are doing though. Let's see if it actually plays out. Let's see that it doesn't just become a complete train wreck, right? Let's hope that. Okay, moving on, guys. You know where we're going. We're going straight into the Hopium. Love the Hopium. Okay. Which one are we going to start with first? Okay, you know what? We're going to do a little blast from the past here. Start off with a blast from the past. This is 2 years ago. This is Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan. Here we go.
Into the mix, which I think is a small piece, but maybe you think it's a bigger piece. Janet Yellen called the failure of FTX last week a Lehman moment in crypto. I don't know if you think that's contained and doesn't matter. Yeah. Do you think it's a symbol of something larger that's happening in the economy?
Crypto is a complete sideshow, okay? And you guys spend too much time on it, and I've made my views perfectly clear about crypto tokens are like pet rocks. And there's and people hyping this stuff up. That doesn't mean blockchain is not real. Right. That doesn't mean smart contracts won't be real or Web 3.0. But cryptocurrencies that don't do anything, I don't understand why people spend any time. But I don't think she meant it's a Lehman moment. I think she meant it's a Lehman moment for crypto.
Yes.
But crypto is worth $1 trillion. The other thing the American public should look at when you look at crypto, if you look at all the buying and selling, so Bitcoin's worth like under $1 trillion today, and we're not even sure that's a real market, by the way. There's
we're pretty sure it's a real market.
20 to 30 billion of ransomware a year that we know about. 20 to 30 billion of exchange costs that we know about. Lots of AML, anti-terrorism financing, tax avoidance, sex trafficking. And why we allow this stuff to take?
You're right. You know what, Jamie Dimon? You are right. Why do we allow this to take place? Let's go take a look at your business for a second, right? Let's go take a look at that business. How's it doing? What's JP Morgan? Oh, so here we go, guys. We've got this violation tracker for JP Morgan. Yeah. Turns out that they don't have the best track record. Turns out that JP Morgan, right, has been penalized over $40 billion. And here is the list of all of their financial offenses so far and the different types of financial offenses, because it's a big club and we're not in it. Okay. So I just, yeah, I love it when these guys do these self-own. It's just these humiliation rituals on television, and they don't. It's fantastic. It's just I find it mind blowing. Zero self-awareness. Now, why did I preface this section with that particular video? Of course, guys, you know the deal. You know the deal, because now all of a sudden, right now he's predicting 165K Bitcoin by end of the year. Oh my God, no way! Oh, so he was a hater, and now painfully has to bend the knee, and have to endorse Bitcoin. It's fantastic. I love seeing stuff like this. I really, really do. That's right, Jamie Dimon, you were wrong. And not only that, but guess what? Your bank is one of the biggest facilitators of AML and KYC related crime. Why? Because you offer the rails for these criminals to move as much money as possible. They pay to play, and then you get spanked with a fine. That's it. That's all that happens. You could pretend that you're not a piece of crap all you want, or that your business isn't some scammy piece of junk that just does money laundering, but it is. That's all it does. It doesn't matter. Oh, God, these guys. It's fantastic watching the cell phones. Makes me happy. All right, guys, moving on. We've got some more hopium. That's right. There's a whole lot of hopium going on. So look, the difficulty adjustment, right? Take a look at that, guys. 5.97%, the seventh consecutive upwards adjustment, breaking above the 150. What is that? Terahash difficulty? I think we're beyond that though, right? 150.84 terahash. Anyways, for the first time. But look, the point I'm trying to make is this, right? The more miners come on, the more every 2 weeks, the difficulty adjustment will keep revving up and up and up. So all terahashes. Thank you. That's right, Z-Logic. All the terahashes. For some reason, I was going to say trillion, but then I'm like, no, this is hash rate. It's terahashes. But yeah, guys, I mean, like, this is, in terms of Bitcoin security and all of that, we are just leaps beyond any other freaking token. More secure than the actual financial system that we use every single day. Anyways, I'm talking about the fiat system, of course. Anyways, moving on, guys. That's right. We've got more hopium predictions. Citigroup's been, you know what? Citigroup has been pretty bullish for a while. There you go. So they're predicting, you know what? 181. Man, I'd love to get 165. How good would it be, right? 165 by Christmas. So we get the Santa Claus rally, makes everybody happy. And then we kick off the new year going into, like, let's say February, right? Valentine's. Love is in the air. 181K. I'll take it. I love this hopium. This is fantastic. Okay, we got some stuff from Wicked here, of course. Of course, we have some Wicked hopium. It's all he does is charts. It's been 49 days since Bitcoin's last all-time high. And guys, as we're doing this show right now live, we're just about hitting that. All right, I'm just going to go check, okay? I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to go check anyway. 123,390, according to Bitfinex. So, yeah. Today's the day, guys. I think this is it. Today's the day. We're going to see the previous all-time high and maybe start to break into our new territory. Maybe the next time we're talking, we're talking at 134K, right? Anyways, so this is just a zoom in of the chart. So guys, look, 49 days since, obviously it's inevitable. We are just waiting for it to come back, and it has. We're just skirting all-time highs right now at the time of this recording. Beautiful hopium. Let's continue on. Okay. The McRib. That's right, guys. As if we didn't have all the stars aligning. Okay, we got Kramer that said it was going to die, right? Bitcoin was going to die. Like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. We've got all the influencers, or specifically Samson, talking about the Omega candles. And now look, as if it wasn't enough. Shout out to Sai, by the way, for tagging me in this one. The McRib is back, and BTC historically goes up 2x after the McRib returns. So the takeaway, you don't need to eat the McRib. It's garbage, but you can use it as an indicator that we're going to the moon. So, all right, the McRib indicator. I appreciate this. That is some solid hopium. Okay, and finally, we're going to take a look at what is going on with, where is it? Okay. Stimmy check. Let's do it. The Stimmy check. Trump says he's considering rebate checks for Americans based on tariff revenue. I mean, look, I can appreciate that, right? Why not? Just to point out, though, because we are seeing tweets that he specifically said $1,000 to $2,000 checks. That isn't actually documented in any article. That was actually during an interview that he said that. So that's why I think because I had a hard time obviously pulling that up, trying to find it. So yeah, there you go. It was during an interview on October 2nd that he was mulling those particular numbers. I got to be honest with you guys. If they're going to give me $1,000 or $2,000, I am just going to buy more Bitcoin with it. I don't really care. I did that last time. And just to give you an idea for the people who don't know what putting that Stimmy check in 2020 was like. And again, these are approximate numbers, right? But they gave you $1,200 and you're looking at 1,000. There's another screenshot that says approximately 1,700%. So, I mean, come on. 1,700% in 5 years. In all fairness, even inflation didn't do that. So you actually are beating inflation on that timeline. 5 years is nothing. Anyways, guys, that was a lot of hopium. And right now, as we are doing this, we just peaked up again, 123,790. I guess I could just, all right, I'll do it. I don't normally do this, but I'll do it anyway. It's Friday. I don't care. I wear suits. I don't actually wear suits. But yeah, let's just watch this thing for a little while. Yeah, no, I don't pay for trading, so I get stupid pop-ups. It's glorious, guys. The 30 minutes. It is absolutely glorious. We are going into that's right, Z-Logic. We are going into a very bullish weekend. This is fantastic. Yay! That's right. Why not? You know, you gotta take the wins, right? Like that's something I've noticed. You know, it's one thing to complain, but you can't always just complain about all of the things that we hate. Like, we got to take these small wins. These small wins make life worth it. Yeah, I am just glad that the plan is following through. 4-year cycle still intact. All the haters in disbelief. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Maybe it's not intact, right? Maybe it falls apart. We're going to find out. We're totally going to find out. And if we start doing this stair step, then get ready, because that means Bitcoin has entered a brand new era of maturity. And we are going to be in for some more wild times. That's right. October is real. And as you guys know, on Monday evening, okay, so here's the deal, right? On Monday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to do our roundtable. Sir Ulrich and Humble Bitcoiner and myself, we're going to do the roundtable. It is going to be some serious October hopium. And then the following week, Sir Ulrich and I will be at TabConf live. We're going to be there doing the news desk. We're going to be all around the speakers. We're going to be asking them uncomfortable questions. That's right. It's going to be a good time. Anyways, I hope you guys will join us. Have an amazing weekend. Have a great rest of the day. I will catch you all on Monday. Take it easy.